Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and that you're staying warm. The weather seems to be doing its own thing lately.
Storms, tornadoes, blizzards, basically all the things that make my life much easier when it comes to booking loads because, like half of the country is off limits to me now.
Anyway, today I want to talk about how to get loads when you're a new authority. Ready? Let's go! First thing I want to clarify is what I mean when I say new authority.
Is it when I formed my company? Because that was like 2 years ago.
Nope, your company formation date doesn't matter.
Okay, so it must be the DOT number, and I got my DOT about a year ago, and...
Nope, still not it.
Fine, MC number, because I got that 6 months ago. I'm just waiting for insurance to be on file.
Which means that the MC number is not active yet, and therefore you don't actually have your operating authority.
Yes, I do. I have numbers to prove it.
Even if you have your DOT and MC numbers assigned to you already, the age of your authority actually depends on when it is active. Meaning when you get that insurance on file and BOC3 so that the FMCSA can officially activate your MC number. Let me give you an example. As some of you already know, we have a second company that is completely brand new. Now this company was actually formed about a year ago and the MC and DOT numbers were assigned to us about 9 months ago. However, the age of our authority is only 24 days old. How? Well, because the insurance kicked in on December 3rd, today is December 27th, so we're considered a completely new authority. Now, the most common concern I see among new carriers is this idea that brokers will not work with them. Hey, calling about your load from San Diego to Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, we don't work with carriers with less than 180 days of authority.
Wait a minute. You do realize that this area has like 1,300 loads posted and 5 trucks?
I don't care. If I don't find a truck today, I'll find one tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then next week. And if not next week, I'd rather lose my client, make my company go broke, than give you a chance to move this load.
Exaggeration? Yep, but that's what new carriers fear, that no broker will want to work with them. Every brokerage has its own rules when it comes to working with carriers. Some brokers will require a month, 3 months, 6 months of authority before they can actually give you a load to transport. Other brokers require a year of authority. There are also those brokers that have other requirements on top of the age of authority. For example, a certain amount of roadside inspections, a certain carrier safety score, and so on. These kinds of brokers are not very common, but they are out there.
So what now? Once my authority is active, I have to wait a month before I can actually start working?
No, of course not. Once you get your authority active, you will want to get set up with those brokers that don't have a minimum age requirement for your authority. Yep, you guessed it. Now I'm going to be giving you a list of brokers who work with new authorities, but I will only be listing those brokers that are reliable and have a good credit score so that you can get paid once you deliver their load. Number 1, TQL or Total Quality Logistics. TQL is a behemoth of a broker and they have loads everywhere, so you will always find a load to book through them. The only thing is, don't let them lowball you. When you ask them for a rate, you will often hear back,
"Oh, we're actually not very far off, but..."
I seriously think that brokers at TQL are trained to use this exact wording. We're not far off, but can you go down a couple $100s? So don't let them talk you down or they will be talking you down for every future load you transport with them. Next is Uber Freight. Uber Freight is an online broker. They have their own load board and you book loads directly through that online system. The bad news is that Uber Freight doesn't have loads everywhere, but the good news is that they pay you within 10 days without charging you any fee for that quick payment. Convoy is another online broker, but with their own bidding system, so you can actually bid on loads with the rate you want. And the best part, they also pay within 10 days without charging you a fee. Amazon Relay is another huge broker. I have never used them, but if you guys do, let me know how it goes. From what I know, they're very popular among power-only carriers, meaning a carrier who doesn't have trailers, just the truck. Then there's Landstar, the king of lowballing. Landstar is reliable. They have a great credit score, but boy, do they try to give you the lowest rate possible to move a load. So be careful. C.H. Robinson is another giant in this industry. I have actually never worked with them. I'm set up with them, but I have never moved a load with them because they refuse to negotiate, and I don't like that. There's also the king of them all, Knight Swift Transportation. Knight Swift has a ton of loads in the West Coast and Midwest, and they work with new carriers. Now, this list contains the bigger brokers in this industry, but let's not forget about the little guys. Smaller brokers who work only in specific areas will often work with new carriers as well. But what happens if you get stuck in an area where all the loads that are being posted are posted by brokers who need you to have more experience? This is very unlikely to happen, but if it does, make sure to keep your professional references at hand. This has saved me so many times when I was just starting out in this industry. You will actually want to work with as many smaller brokers as possible, communicate with them, do a great job with actually transporting the load, and then use them as a reference.
Wait, why small brokers? You made TQL sound pretty good.
Yes, TQL is great for new carriers, but there is one bummer, and it's a big one. Most brokers do not consider TQL as a professional reference because they are so huge that every time you haul a load for them, you're working with 10 different people for that one load. So work with the smaller guys when you can, build good relationships, build your reference list, and when you're in an area where you're having a tough time finding loads because of the lack of experience, start negotiating. When a broker tells you,
"Oh no, we only work with carriers with 90 days of authority,"
you say you understand and then tell them about your handy dandy reference list with all the brokers you've worked with and the great reviews they're about to give you. It won't work all of the time, but most of the time the broker who's asking for more experience will actually call those references, and if they're actually good, they will give you a chance and they will give you that load. And remember, after you hit those 90 days of authority, most brokers, and I'm talking about 99% of them, will be happy to give you their load. Now, of course, there will be a handful of those that will still look at you as a risk because they require 6 months of authority or a year of authority, but those few will not make or break your business. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that I put some fears to rest. As a reminder, every month I go over our numbers. Now this month will be extra special. Why? Because this month we'll go over the numbers of our baby company, the new authority. And hopefully those numbers make you feel even better about starting your own company. And also as a reminder, we're still looking for company drivers, 70 cents per mile to start on all miles odometer readings. And we're looking for owner-operators with their own truck and trailer to lease on to our carrier for 75% of gross. And if you have any general questions about the trucking industry or maybe a specific question about your situation, feel free to email me at the email down below and I will respond to you within 24 hours. I'll see you guys in the next video.